Never back down. Hey everyone, welcome to our channel Mental Game. Today we are going to discuss about 15 biggest reasons most relationships fail and how you can maintain a successful relationship. Before we begin, make sure to like, share and subscribe. It is no surprise that most relationships fail for one reason or another. While it may be easy to blame one person or the other, or even both parties, there are usually underlying and more complex issues that lead to the end of the relationship. To help you understand the biggest reasons why relationships fail, here are some of the most common causes and how to prevent them. Number 1. Unmet expectations. When both partners have an unrealistic idea of what the relationship should be like, it can lead to disappointment and unmet expectations. Whether it's a mismatch in personalities or different goals, it can be hard to reconcile the dreams each partner has for the relationship. The best way to prevent unmet expectations is to make sure that both partners are honest and open about their expectations from the relationship. This will ensure that both people are on the same page and that no one will be disappointed. Number 2. Uncommitted. People often enter into relationships without fully committing. This can lead to disaster if one person is expecting more commitment than the other. It can also lead to feelings of insecurity and anxiety, leading to a lack of trust in the relationship. The best way to prevent this is to make sure that both partners are committed to the relationship before entering into it. This may mean having honest conversations about the future and what each person wants out of the relationship. Number 3. Oversight. When one partner is not giving the other enough attention, it can lead to feelings of neglect and isolation. This can result in one partner feeling like they are not appreciated or loved, leading to resentment and anger. The best way to prevent this is to make sure that both partners are showing each other attention and affection. This can be through words, gifts, or acts of service. It is important to remember to prioritize your relationship and make sure that your partner knows that you appreciate them. Number 4. Infidelity. Infidelity in a relationship can be one of the most devastating experiences. It can lead to feelings of betrayal, guilt, and anger. It can also cause lasting damage to the trust between the two partners, making it hard to move forward. The best way to not prevent infidelity is to be honest with each other and to make sure that both partners are committed to being faithful. It is also important to remember to communicate openly and to set boundaries when it comes to relationships with other people. Number 5. Different values. When two people have vastly different values, it can be difficult for them to stay together. This is because each person has different ideas about what is most important in a relationship, and what makes them feel secure. If these values are not shared, it can lead to a breakdown of communication and trust. The best way to prevent this is to make sure that both partners are open and honest about their values and that they are willing to compromise. It is also important to remember that relationships require work and effort from both partners. Number 6. Poor conflict resolution. Conflict is an inevitable part of any relationship, but how it is dealt with can make a huge difference. If both partners are not willing to compromise and listen to each other, it can lead to resentment and anger. This can then lead to a breakdown of communication and trust. The best way to prevent this is to make sure that both partners are willing to work together to resolve conflicts. This means being patient, understanding, and open to discussing different points of view. It is also important to remember to apologize and forgive if necessary. Number 7. Poor boundaries. Setting boundaries in a relationship is important for both partners to feel secure and respected. If one partner is not setting boundaries, it can lead to feelings of insecurity and resentment. This is because it can make the other partner feel like they are not being respected or valued. The best way to prevent this is to make sure that both partners are willing to set boundaries and that they are willing to respect each other's boundaries. This means having conversations about expectations and what each partner wants and needs from the relationship. Number 8. Fear of intimacy. Intimacy is an essential part of any relationship, and yet many people are scared of getting too close. This fear can be rooted in insecurities or past experiences, and it can lead to a breakdown in communication and trust. The best way to prevent this is to make sure that both partners are willing to be vulnerable and open with each other. This means being honest about their feelings and fears and being willing to trust each other. It is also important to remember to be patient and understanding with each other. Number 9. Not prioritizing the relationship. When one or both partners are not prioritizing the relationship, it can lead to feelings of neglect and dissatisfaction. This can be due to work, health, or any other number of reasons. If the relationship is not receiving the attention it needs, it can lead to a breakdown in communication and trust. The best way to prevent this is to make sure that both partners are making time for the relationship. Number 10. Unaddressed issues. When issues in a relationship are not addressed, it can lead to feelings of anger and frustration. This is because unresolved issues can lead to resentment and bitterness, which can then lead to a breakdown in communication and trust. The best way to prevent this is to make sure that both partners are willing to talk about any problems that arise. This means being open and honest about any issues and being willing to listen to each other. It is also important to remember to apologize and forgive if necessary. Number 11. Unmet needs. When both partners are not having their needs met in a relationship, it can lead to frustration and dissatisfaction. This is because it can make one or both partners feel like their needs are not being taken seriously or respected. The best way to prevent this is to make sure that both partners are open and honest about their needs. This means talking about what is important to each partner and making sure that their needs are being met. It is also important to remember to be understanding and patient with each other. Number 12. Jealousy. Jealousy is a common issue in relationships and it can lead to feelings of insecurity and mistrust. This is because it can make one or both partners feel like they are not being respected or valued. The best way to prevent this is to make sure that both partners are willing to talk about any issues that come up. This means addressing any underlying insecurities and having conversations about expectations and trust. It is also important to remember to be understanding and forgiving if necessary. Number 13. Lack of communication. When communication in a relationship breaks down, it can lead to feelings of disconnection and loneliness. This is because it can make one or both partners feel like they are not being heard or understood. The best way to prevent this is to make sure that both partners are willing to talk and listen to each other. This means having meaningful conversations about issues that come up and taking the time to understand each other's perspectives. It is also important to remember to be patient and compassionate with each other. It is important to remember that relationships require work, patience, and understanding. When issues arise, it is important to take the time to talk about them and be willing to listen to each other. By doing this, it is possible to successfully address and resolve any issues that come up in a relationship and maintain a healthy, happy, and fulfilling connection. Number 14. Substance abuse. Drug or alcohol addiction can put a significant strain on a relationship and cause a breakdown in communication and trust. Substance abuse can also lead to a breakdown in communication and trust, as the addicted individual may become defensive or dishonest about their substance use. Additionally, substance abuse can lead to emotional and physical health problems, financial strain, and legal issues, which can further exacerbate problems in the relationship. Number 15. Emotional baggage. Past traumas or unresolved emotional issues can affect the way individuals perceive and respond to situations, leading to difficulties in communication, emotional intimacy, and trust. For example, a person who has experienced trauma may have difficulty trusting others or may struggle with emotional closeness. These issues can create tension, misunderstandings, and lead to further emotional harm in the relationship. How to maintain a successful relationship. One of the most important things you can do is to communicate openly and honestly with your partner. This means expressing your feelings, listening to their perspective, and working together to find solutions to any problems that arise. Additionally, it's important to build a foundation of trust, which can be achieved by being reliable, transparent, and respectful in all of your interactions with your partner. Other important factors include showing appreciation and affection for your partner, making time for each other, and being willing to compromise and make sacrifices when necessary. By making a conscious effort to prioritize your relationship and work through any challenges that arise, you can build a strong, long-lasting partnership that brings happiness and fulfillment to both you and your partner. If you found this video useful, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends, so we can keep making them. For more videos like, share, subscribe, and remember to click on the notification. Also be sure to check out our other videos as well. Thanks for watching.